This video took a while to make, partly because I went through a creative pit, and partly because man did I not like Takaba. But as time went on and I had time to reflect, I ultimately found Takaba to be a good addition to Jujutsu Kaisen's story, and while I have my own personal dislikes for him, I think he is overall pretty solid. But what caused me and so many other fans to dislike Takaba so much? Surely it's not some coincidence, right? So I thought I'd take a look into the comedian, Takaba. So what caused such widespread dislike of Takaba? Well, in my opinion, it's really not that complicated. It primarily comes down to the dreaded Kenjaku fight. When viewed now, it's perfectly fine. In fact, it's actually a very good fight and very good use of reality manipulation and something you rarely see in anime. However, when we were viewing it week to week, what is now known as the Takaba incident was some of the most painful and dreaded chapters in the entire manga. And I think this is due to a variety of factors, but the primary one in my eyes is the fact that the fight cut away from what was supposed to be one of the most hype double spreads in the entire series. Seeing Higi and Yuji drop down through Hikari's domain like this, and us jumping out of our seats punching the air with hype, from just how raw that page was, it made waves. So, to instantly cut to Kenjaku body slamming some very unimportant characters, and then doing a comedy skit for 5 chapters left a lot of sourness in the fandom. Doubly so because there were at least 2 breaks we went on during this fight. The overall feeling was pretty negative. Despite this, the actual fight isn't incredible, but its perception was bogged down by the meta-perception of it dragging its feet and gatekeeping the most insane jumping in all of JJK. The Sukuna raid, Takaba slowly overcoming his depression, and Kenjaku unveiling that deep down Takaba felt alone and isolated is compelling. It adds a somber tone to all of Takaba's jokes and interactions, because we know that deep down he is just doing it because he wants to have friends and to be liked by others. Meanwhile, Kenjaku not only exposes Takaba's weaknesses as a person, but accidentally helps him overcome them, and even Kenjaku himself learns to enjoy fighting Takaba and is content with it being his seemingly final fight. In isolation, the Takaba fight appears as just Gege pulling a filler move, trying to extend the manga or waste time until Christmas break. But when you look at it in the rest of Jujutsu Kaisen in mind, it's good execution and a subversion of typical shonen tropes. Takaba helps characterize Kenjaku and also helps cement themes of isolation in JJK. Takaba had a technique that could rival Satoru Gojo, but never once does strength or power even cross his mind. He just simply wants to make people laugh and have friends. Meanwhile, Kenjaku, who had already determined Takaba as a worthless person, has his expectations blown away and comes to respect someone who is widely regarded as the most goofy and unimportant person in the Culling Games. The Takaba fight really exemplifies JJK's themes of rising above expectations and moving beyond others' sense of your worth. Sukuna embodies this the most, with his whole philosophy being boiled down to just do what you want and don't care about anyone or anything else. And a big part of that is Sukuna not caring about others' expectations of him, and thus is always able to rise above those expectations. Takaba and Kenjaku, I think, are actually subtle foreshadowing of the very next fight, the Sukuna raid. Takaba and Kenjaku show that no matter who it is, you can always rise above what's expected of you, low or high. Ken thought nothing of Takaba, but was blown away by his performance, and Takaba thought Ken was just a fake comedy fan and someone who didn't understand comedy, but ended up not wanting his time with Kenjaku to end, even crying at the thought that such a dream has to at some point end. I think this foreshadows the Sukuna raid in multiple ways. Even already we have seen Sukuna's expectations of the students slowly be surpassed as he believed Yuji to be worthless, but is currently in what seems like an extremely bad predicament precisely because of that expectation and Yuji rising above them. And at the same time, the students have expectations of Sukuna that have also been surpassed and likely will continue to be surpassed, with Sukuna game-ending Higi or using a world slash despite their expectations that he couldn't. Ultimately, the Takaba incident is misunderstood simply because of its positioning within the story. Had the fight happened before the Gojo versus Sukuna battle, or at the moment that didn't have the fandom in a chokehold, I doubt anyone would have had such negative opinions on the fight. But because it came at a time when everyone was so invested in a different situation, it was received pretty poorly. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I've taken quite some time away from YouTube to decide what I wanted to do with the channel going forward and to cure burnout. I'll be back to making videos now, hopefully much more consistently as well as making the videos I want to make regardless of if they perform well. I'll still be making JJK videos for sure, but I'm going to be talking about other things that interest me as well. I want to have more personality on the channel and not just be some generic JJK YouTuber number 202. If you don't want to watch me anymore, that's perfectly okay, but I'm going to make the content I want to make. And for those that stick around, I hope they can enjoy the content too. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.